from the city attorney on Open Meetings Act. So staff, can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Stebbins,
Present.
Commissioner Hardy,
Present.
Commissioner McCaskill,
Present.
Commissioner Jordan, Commissioner Jordan, Commissioner Key,
Present.
Commissioner Ricks,
Present.
Commissioner Teliga,
Present, thank you.
Commissioner Coney,
Present.
Commissioner Blower.
Here.
Jordan there. No.
So we're just missing Commissioner Jordan. Staff, could you maybe reach out to her maybe tomorrow, in the next couple of days? This is the third one in a row she's missed. I think she's missed all of them since we've been on Zoom.
Yes, we can.
Make sure there's not an issue or anything. All right, Suzanne, you've got statement you need to read for the city attorney.
Sure. This is Suzanne Wilcox from Planning and Development Department, and Angela Wheeler, the Flint City Attorney, is asking all multiple member bodies, boards, and commissions to read this statement at the beginning of the meeting. And basically, it's to communicate that the state has adopted new legislation replacing the governor's executive orders, and to be consistent with this legislation that we read the following language, which is all boards and commissions must adhere to all laws established under the Michigan compiled laws and in accordance with the revisions to the Open Meetings Act adopted in Senate Bill 1108 as passed on October 13th, 2020 and signed into law on October 16th, 2020. And this is just to confirm that we can continue with Zoom meetings per the Michigan legislature. So thank you for allowing me to read that.
Thank you. The next thing on our agenda is adoption of the agenda. Do we have any additions to the agenda? Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as written?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Hey, can everybody speak a little bit louder? Because I'm having a hard time hearing. If I am, I think other people are too.
Commissioner McCaskill, motion to approve.
Yeah, thank you. Do I have support?
Commissioner Teliga, one question. That same passage that I just read, Angela requested that agendas be modified to include that language. So I'm wondering if you could get a motion to add that language into your agenda and amend the agenda for that.
We sure will. Can someone give me a motion, please, to add that verbiage to the agenda?
Commissioner Key, I propose that we add the verbiage to the agenda as read by Suzanne.
Thank you. Support? Anyone?
Commissioner Blower, support.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, we're going to vote. I don't think we need a roll call on this. All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Now we're on to adoption of the agenda. Ari, will you make that motion again, please?
Motion to adopt agenda.
Somebody have support, please?
Commissioner Blower, support.
Thank you. Any discussion at all? All right. All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Same sign. Passes unanimously. We're now on the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, August 18th, 2020. Any additions, subtractions? Thank you, Bill, for the lengthy minutes there. I'm sure that was a lot of work transcribing that. Can we get a motion to approve?
Commissioner Ricks, I move that we approve the minutes.
Support?
You did it. Commissioner Stebbins supports.
Don't look so enthused, Lisa. Thank you. Okay. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Blauer, I would like to abstain.
All right. All yeses, one abstention. Thank you. We're going to public forum. Do we have anybody on the phone that would like to speak?
We have no one from the public.
Okay, well, we'll give them another opportunity at each case, as each case presents itself. All right, any reports? Staff?
No reports, Commissioner Talga. This
All
is
right.
Bill Vandercook.
Any communications?
No communications.
Okay, let's open the public hearing. The first one on there, you guys, 2238. The applicant did not send the proper paperwork to the city, so that's going to be held back for another time. So we're going to move on to ZBA 20-2239. Give me a second, guys. Which is applicants requesting the setback variance from chapter 50, article 4B, two-family district. The applicant's non-use variance. This is a non-use variance. So we're going to have to, we just have a simple majority to approve this. Correct me if I'm wrong, city attorney.
That's correct,
Non-variance-
Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Non-variance request for one, request a non-use variance for city code height standard of 35 feet to 56.6 feet. Two, request non-use variance from street setback city code standard of 25 feet to a minimum of 10 feet. And three, request a non-use variance from city code standard of 25 feet rear yard setback to 11 feet. Is the applicant here to discuss it, present it?
Mr. Chair, we have several people on the line here. This is Doug Scott from Rowe Professional Services Company, and I'm going to ask John Aslan from Aslan McLean Architects to basically just give you a quick overview of the project, why we're asking for what we're asking, and then I will go ahead and just answer any questions that you have as far as the specifics of the variance request.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. My name is John Aslan from Aslan McLean Architectural Group, 4488 West Bristol Road in Flint. We're here before you tonight looking for some variances, and I'd like to perhaps give you a brief history of the project. I've been working on this project for approximately 20 years. About 20 years ago, Coach McKinney came to my office and said that she had a vision, and the vision was to develop something for the youth of Flint. And she felt at that time that what they needed was something to do after school. Now, let me give you a brief history about Coach McKinney. She was a basketball player in one of the Flint high schools, eventually went on to play under college scholarship. She played in the United States Women's League, and she also played in the Women's League overseas. She's since come back. And it's been her lifelong dream to develop something for the youth of Flint. So we've been working on developing a sports complex, and I'd do some drawings and she'd go talk to people, and 5 years later she'd come back and we'd tweak the drawings, and we'd meet with state representatives, and we met with the mayor, and then eventually she got together with Sylvester Broom Empowerment Village, and a great organization. They're working together, and I think that they're close to realizing her dream of developing something that's going to serve the youth of the city of Flint. So basically what we're looking at developing is roughly a 60,000 square foot sports building on the existing SBEV property, which is just south of Stewart on North Saginaw. It has a basketball component and a football soccer component. They intend to use the facility to provide sports education for youth. There will also be some adult components for adult use of the facility, as well as some tournament use of this facility also. Being the case, the building, in order to be used for the purpose which is intended, had to be bigger than one might normally put in this particular area. The building heights were such that we actually have a pro football field in one half of the building. There'll be a 7-on-7 tournament.
Speak just a little louder.
Oh, I'm
Apologize.
sorry. I'll see if I can get
I'm
closer. to
sure
the
it's on my end and not yours.
Okay. A football component, which necessitated a tall space. To play football indoors, you have to have enough room so the football can be kicked and what have you. So basically, that sort of describes the need for the size of the building and the scale of our building. That being said, I'll turn it over to Doug and he can address the specific variance requests.
Yes, so John mentioned the height setback or the height variance request based on the required height of the building. And then because we're trying to fit this on the existing site of the Sylvester Broom facility there, we're pretty tight in there with this large of a building, and it backs up to the city park there. But in order to do what we want to do there, we do have to come to you tonight to ask for a variance for the site also has basically 3 front yard setbacks. So that's hurting us on the on both the north and the south sides there. So we're requesting that we take that down from 25 foot to 10 foot and then back on the rear yard again to try and fit this size building in there. We're asking for the 25-foot rear yard to be reduced down to 11 foot on that.
You're held in by city blocks to your east and west and
north and south as well.
North and south.
North and
and
south.
east.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
I might like to add one thing, and that is certainly, this facility could be put in Grand Blanc or Fenton or Swartz Creek or Davison, but the intent is, and the reason that we're placing it here is to serve the youth and the community in the city of Flint.
So, and I think you probably have all had a chance to look at the drawings. If there's any questions on why, and what we're doing there, we'd be more than happy to answer that. So,
Commissioner Key, I have a question. Have I had the floor?
You do.
Okay, my question is this. There's a couple of things I was not clear on. Now, it seems to me that you blocked in by the streets of Flint on 3 sides: North Saginaw on the east side, East Moore Street on the north side, and Damon Street on the south side. But it appears that the west side of the building comes up against Dewey Park. Is that correct?
that is correct, yes.
Okay. All right, so really, the west side restriction to go down to 10 feet is 10 feet before you enter into the park area, not on a street itself.
That's correct, yes.
Okay. And the north, south, and east side really is reduced setback to the sidewalk that's existing on the existing streets already. Right? I mean,
correct.
I'm not coming up to the back of anyone's house or anything. It's up to the streets.
Correct.
Okay. All right, I'm clear.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I want to kind of right on the piggyback of that. The north side is encumbered by the existing building, not North Saginaw Street, but the building, SBEV, right? Not the street. The building and the parking lot.
The east facing facade, correct, sits on Saginaw Street, right?
The existing building is east of the proposed building. And you're right. I mean, the existing
that sits on Saginaw.
That abuts, yeah.
Correct.
Commissioner McCaskill, my question is what happens with this board tonight contingent upon funding of this project, these variances, or is the project already funded?
Miriam, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, the project is partially funded. So I guess, can you repeat your question so I can make sure I understand it correctly?
So is the remaining funding contingent upon the variance?
No, it is not.
Okay.
I mean, but we wouldn't be able to move forward in the fashion we would like to if it is not approved.
Okay.
Anybody else? You'll have more time to ask questions after this. I need to open up the public forum and verify there isn't anybody on the phone who would like to speak for or against it. Do we have anybody here from the public who'd like to speak for or anyone else or against this project?
There is no one.
Okay, I'm going to close the public forum portion of it. And this is normally where the applicant has a chance to respond to any public comments, but we don't have any. I'll continue on and make sure any of my fellow commissioners don't have any questions. Anybody else? Okay, as I understand it, you can make a motion to approve all three in one. If you have an issue with one of them, then we have to break them up. So I'm looking for a motion right now.
Motion to approve all three. Commissioner McCaskill.
Do I have support?
Commissioner Key, I support.
All right. We have any discussion here at all?
Commissioner Hardy, I have a concern. I know this is not what's before us, but looking at this design, I don't see parking. How are you going to accommodate parking to facilitate that building? Oh, that's
Can I
not
answer
part of
that?
what we're voting on.
That's correct, but still
Would you
good
like
to
us to
know if
answer
we're
that?
making a valid decision here.
Yeah, Doug,
Okay.
please. Yeah.
Okay, so you're correct. We are in the process of submitting the site plan. It will be submitting a site plan package to the Planning Commission here. Well, actually, we've already submitted it contingent upon getting this, the variances tonight. But what we have done is we have 2 blocks south. We've obtained additional property, and we'll be developing basically an overflow parking lot for events and stuff. The site that we have before you will have approximately 60 parking spaces, and
Say
then
that
we
again,
will have
please.
the site that you have before you will have approximately 60 parking spaces, and then
60.
we have 60, yes, and then we have an overflow parking lot, basically 1 block south, 1 full block south there, that will have approximately 140 spaces that will go along with it for weekend tournaments, that type of thing. So.
Any other questions?
Commissioner Hardy, once again, and I'll leave this alone. To the developers, to Miriam especially, what's the community approached on this project to get feedback, whether they would accept it, or was okay with them with this 56-foot building in front of their house, or what's the community approach for their feedback?
Yeah, that's a great question. We hosted a community forum in August. We sent out 10,000 mailers to about 5 different zip codes, around the area, just informing them about the Sportsplex, and also inform them that we were holding a community forum to receive their feedback. At the community forum, we had 150 show up. We had to keep it a little bit small due to COVID and social distancing. We had a great response. We did surveys. We do have the results of surveys that we can share with you. There was very little concern. One concern came up was, were the dollars coming from their tax money, and where their tax is going to increase. So maybe they thought it was would operate like a millage, and we did inform them that that was not the case. So that made them happy. But all of the responses were very positive, very excited about the program and the programming we intend to bring, and the building as well.
Thank you for that.
No problem.
I have a question. I would like to know, you said the parking, the overflow parking would be a 1 block south. Would it be between Damon and Myrtle? Where is the overflow parking exactly?
Edmond is at, there's Damon and then there's a lot and then there's Edmond. So it's the next street
Edmond.
over.
2
Yeah.
blocks,
Okay.
so yeah.
I got you. Okay, so Myrtle and Edmond?
Yeah.
And that's good for us to know,
That's
but
great.
remember, that's not what we're reviewing right now or
Right,
on
okay.
it, but I think it's a really good question. I wondered myself and appreciate you guys bringing it up. Anybody else?
It's not germane to the topic, but since we're talking about
Then
it,
why you say it? Go ahead.
yeah, any improvement to the shallow is a benefit, and I think it improves quality of life and the perspective of the community. And majority of those homes are blighted or on their way to being blighted within the peripheral of that development. So these parking won't be an issue.
And I think that's germane to it.
Yeah.
And I agree. You're right. It's actually a lot of empty lots too around it right now.
Yeah.
Anybody else? We have a motion on the floor and we have support. I'm going to ask staff to do a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Chair, this is Kelly Thompson. I just wanted to, for the sake of clarity in the record, if the motion, if the 3 variances could be read as part of the motion into the record.
Of course, I should have picked up on that.
Thank you.
Ari, I'm going to need you to
It can just be read straight from the agenda.
I'm going to need you to restate it, and then I'm going to ask for the support to support it. Can you restate it, please, with that?
Let me pull it up. Give me 1 second. A motion to approve all 3, Commissioner McCaskill, a request for non-use variance for city code height standard of 35 feet to 56.6 feet. Second, request non-use variance for street setback, city code standard 25 feet to minimum of 10 feet. Request a minimum use variance for the city code standard of 25 feet, rear yard setback to 11 feet. The subject parcel 4636 428 059 are zone B. The adjacent parcels are zone B and D6. Motion all 3.
This is Commissioner Key, and I vote to support the approval of ZBA 20-2239.
Okay, this is a non-use variance, so we're only going to need a simple majority. Can I have a roll call vote?
Commissioner Stebbins,
I approve.
Commissioner Hardy,
I approve.
Commissioner McCaskill,
I approve.
Commissioner Jordan, Commissioner Key,
I approve.
Commissioner Ricks,
I approve.
Commissioner Telga,
Yes.
Commissioner Coney,
I approve.
Commissioner Blauer,
Yes for approval.
The motion passes. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
luck.
Thank you. Thank you all.
welcome.
All right, guys. We're on to our second case, ZBA 20-2240. J&S Group requests a use variance from the current zoning of D3 to D5 to allow for a warehouse as a principal permitted use at 3701 Lapeer Road. And we'll need a 2/3 to approve this. This is Ashley Furniture and where the old Target is, if I remember or understand correctly. Want to come in? Do we have the applicant here that would like to present?
Yes, my name is Omar Razak. This is on behalf of J&S, the Ashley Group. It's actually it's called the Peer Group. They are the owner of Ashley stores in Genesee County, and they're requesting as well. Also, I have the owners, Jose, Jode, and Max Awad on the line with us. Also, we do have the architect, Mr. Stuart Fine, also with us on the line, and we requesting the changing this old Target store from a D3 to a D5.
So I've got a couple questions. This is Matt Telliga, Chair. You're looking at putting a warehouse and retail in there, or just a warehouse?
It's actually both retail and a warehouse.
An Ashley furniture store, correct?
Yes.
In what's now an empty space, correct?
Exactly.
Where Target
Exactly.
was.
Yes.
Anybody else got any other questions?
Will this be your hub, your delivery hub in Genesee County? Will it act as it, or no, just some kind of warehousing space? So my question is, will semis be coming in and out to deliver from a central place, this place?
Yes, this will be servicing. They do have a store located on Linden Road. As well, they do have a store located in Lansing, so it will be servicing both stores.
Okay, kind of like the Art Van on Court Street, where it used to be their delivery hub. So, okay.
Yes.
Anybody else?
Man, this is Commissioner Key, and just for clarity's sake, from reading the print, this is just the Target store section of the complex, not the grocery store half. But this is a pretty big complex.
Just
that is correct. That is correct. It's just the Target, not the Farmers Act.
All right. Okay.
I read that all of the Target won't be used. What percentage of square footage are you using for sales and retail and for warehousing? Just for clarity's sake, since we're talking about it.
We do have a total of about 120 square feet. There will be about 30,000 for retail, and the rest will be for warehouse storage.
For warehousing. Okay.
Yes.
Anybody else?
I'm glad to see a tenant finally taking over that Target.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Rick's, exactly.
It's in a basically abandoned area in an eyesore.
Stole my sunshine.
We are excited actually to be able to revamp that area and give more opportunities, more jobs actually for the people of Flint.
Okay,
Commissioner-
anybody else got
Commissioner-
anything? We'll have another opportunity. I want to open up the public speaking portion, see if there's anybody here that would like to speak for or against it.
Matt, Commissioner Hardy I think he had something
Oh,
to say.
no, I can wait. I'll come back.
We don't have time, yeah.
Yeah.
We try to be very transparent. We give everybody time. All right, I'm gonna open up the public hearing portion of it. Do we have anybody here on the phone that would like to speak for it or against it?
There is no one.
Okay, we're gonna close the public hearing. John, you had something?
Yeah, that was quick. Yes. So we're ruling tonight on the fact that we're moving this from a D3 business district to warehousing D5. That's what we're working with.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Do I have a motion on the floor, please?
You want me to read it or just motion to approve?
Why don't you read it?
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
otherwise she doesn't know what your motion is.
And include the ZBA number in it, Mr. Commissioner.
Thank you. So I'm scrolling now. Let me find it.
Here, it's right here.
Yeah, I have it scanned in, so I have to look at.
Give me a hard time.
Yeah, I know.
I only give people who like a hard time, Ari.
ZBA case number 20-2240, and let's find a variance. Property variance change from D3 to D5. And that looks like that's it.
Give the address, 3701 Lapeer Road.
Yep, 3701 Lapeer Road, Flint, Michigan, 48503.
Commissioner Ricks, I second.
All right, we've got a motion of support. Do we have any other discussion on it? Okay, hearing none. Staff, I'm going to ask for a roll call vote, please. Again, we have to have 2/3 for this to pass. So I'm going to need 6 votes.
Commissioner Stebbins,
I approve.
Commissioner Hardy,
I approve.
Commissioner McCaskill,
I approve.
Commissioner Jordan, Commissioner Key,
I approve.
Commissioner Ricks,
I approve.
Commissioner Teliga,
Yes.
Commissioner Coney,
I approve.
Commissioner Blauer.
Yes for approval.
Motion passes unanimously. We needed 2/3 vote. You've passed. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to come to our last case of the night, which is ZBA 20-2241 ANS Properties. Bob Rollinger requests a use variance for Ohio Avenue and North Mead Street from the current zoning of B to zoning of D6. We're going to need a 2/3 vote for this approved. Applicant, do we have the applicant on the phone?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Robert Rollinger is here for ANS Properties Associates LLC.
Okay, you want to kind of give us an overview of the project, please?
Sure, certainly. For the benefit of the board, this is a case that involves actually 4 parcels, which are on the whole vacant land, except there's a partially demolished building on 2 of them on North Dort Highway. The 4 parcels are separated by a 15-foot public alleyway that's subject to being vacated by the Planning Commission as we speak. What this is intended to be is a new Walgreens pharmacy and retail store, about 2,560 square feet and 1 story in height. The building lot coverage would be 9.23%. The property is currently vacant land on the parcel that's on both Ohio Avenue and on North Mead Street. Those parcels are zoned B, and the other 2 parcels on North Dort Highway are zoned D6. So we are looking to have the same use allowed on all 4 parcels so that the property can be developed into a new Walgreens pharmacy retail store with a drive-through. It also includes a parking area of 20 parking spaces, including handicap parking. Access for ingress and egress would be off of Ohio Avenue as depicted on the site plan. In order for this parcel to be developed successfully, we have acquired all 4 parcels from the Genesee County Land Bank Authority, and we are looking forward to seeing a new Walgreens with the drive-through pharmacy attachment. And as I say, the site plan shows the parking area around the building site. Be happy to answer any other questions. Also, Mr. Alex Orman, who is the engineer for the project, is also present.
So will this be similar to the Walgreens that's further down Dort that closed? They closed a larger Walgreens and built a small pharmacy. Is that the same thing happening further up Dort? So is the intention to close the Walgreens on Davidson and Dort Highway and when you open this new Walgreens on Dort in Ohio, because they're in proximity to one another?
I believe that is correct. That is my understanding, Mr. McCaskill, is that is what is going to happen.
does anyone have is there square footage on this variance? Anyone can see that? Because I have it, because that'll give me a better understanding of what's happening.
Well,
Square footage in the new Walgreens pharmacy.
well, the total square footage of all 4 parcels is 27,721 square feet. It comprises 0.64 acres, so it's a little over half an acre for all 4 parcels.
Yeah.
Are you asking the square footage of the building and the
Of the
property, or just the property?
We have a site plan and a building, or you're just asking for the consolidation of the 4 parcels? Because I'm trying to get an understanding of what's happening. So if we approve this new site, then we have a blighted building because Walgreens will close the larger Walgreens. And then we have this blight issue that we have with this abandoned retail space in Flint. I need some clarity on that, please, if anyone can offer it.
I might want to defer to Mr. Orman if he has anything more to add. Alex?
Yes. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm Alex Orman, engineer for the project with Orman Engineering. So basically, you're absolutely right. So they're planning to close the big facilities and downsize to the small facilities because of some marketing issues, whatever. So the proposed building is going to be about 2,560 square feet, and we're trying to locate the building on 2 different zoning, which is several lots over there, 6 lots, and the layout of the building requires to be on both parcels, on both, I would say, 6 lots, which is half of them zone D6 and half of them zone B. So, and that's what we're applying for. But in terms of the square footage, as Bob mentioned, that it's approximately 0.64 acres total site, and which is 2 zoning districts dividing by the public alley, which is we also requesting for the vacation, in order to, of course, to design to allow the building there. So so basically, building coverage for the site is only a little bit less than 10%. So it's a really small size of the building, but we would like to accommodate approximately 20 spaces, that's a maximum what we can have. And fortunately, that Walgreens requires for size of the building only 14, but of course we would like to have some spaces to make sure, for people feel comfortable to park on the site. So
my question,
Ari, I hear what you're saying, but I don't know if it's fair to assume it's going to become blighted. It's just become vacant.
Yeah, it's going to be it's vacant like the one. Yeah, I guess my concern, because I know that neighborhood well, and that Walgreens acts as a resource for people who don't have transportation. And if it's gone and a sole pharmacy replaces it, there's no place to get toiletries and other household items in that vicinity besides the dollar store, which is a premium. So I question, the variance is not a concern of mine. It makes sense. This is more about community and planning than variance. So that's why I asked the question.
I have a question. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead,
well,
please.
from our perspective, I think will be much better for the use of the people, because you notice that Walgreens, it's a big facilities right now, existing ones, and they finally realize that it's not much of product selling to cover this all big facilities, and it's much easier to operate with the small stores like old days. So
right, it's a business decision.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
My question is, will the Walgreens that exists now, is it going to close no matter what? Is the plan to close it, whether you get the new location or not?
Yeah, largest facilities, but they still would like to exist on the market, and just with the smaller size facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
Mr. Chair,
Okay.
this is Kelly Thompson.
Go ahead, Kelly.
I just wanted to make the commission aware of the status of the application that's pending before the planning commission right now. So they have an application for an alleyway vacation. And that was before the planning commission previously, but it was adjourned by the planning commission, just to confirm that we've reached out to all of the adjacent property owners. And so this application this evening for the use variance will have to be conditional upon the planning commission approving the alleyway vacation.
Okay. Guys, help me here. My mind was wandering. I didn't do public, the public forum portion of this yet, did I?
No.
Thanks, I didn't think so. All right, I'm gonna open up public forum and then we can continue any discussion after that. Do we have anybody here from the public who would like to speak for or against this project?
There's no one.
Boy, this is a record. I don't think we've ever had a meeting where no one's spoken all the cases. Okay, I'm gonna close the public forum. Applicant, you got a chance to respond to anything here or board? Any other questions you have?
This is Robert Rollinger again to the chair. I think Mr. Orman elaborated upon the opening statement I made, and we're happy to answer any other questions that may occur to members of the ZBA.
I was a little vague on the answer that Commissioner Ricks asked was whether this is approved or not, the current Walgreens is they're intending on closing that. Is that correct?
I believe that is a correct statement.
Okay. Again, any motion here is going to have to be contingent. You're going to have to add in there contingent on planning approval of vacating the alley there. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'm going to ask for a motion. I can't make them, people.
I'm gonna go. I'm late. I'm sorry, Commissioner Hardy. But if we're contingent on the planning commission to make a move, don't that put us between a rock and a hard place? Because we can't really say if the planning commission disapproves.
We just need a motion. You just make it contingent on the planning commission approving the alley vacation.
Okay, I'm with you.
Would you like for me to do it, or Mr. Hardy, would you like to do it?
You go ahead, Keith.
Okay, here you go. I make a motion that we approve ZBA 20-2241 A&S Properties. Bob Rollinger requests a use variance for Ohio Avenue, PID number 41-08-239-001, and North Mead Street, PID number 41-08-239-002, from the current zoning of B zoning to D6. I make this approval motion pending the conditional that the alleyway vacancy reach approval through the planning commission process.
Do I have support?
Commissioner Ricks, I support.
Do we have any other discussion? We're going to need 2/3 vote for this to approve. Staff, I'm going to ask you to do roll call, please.
Commissioner Stebbins,
I approve.
Commissioner Hardy, Commissioner Hardy,
Your mic.
Yes, I approve. I'm sorry.
Commissioner McCaskill,
I approve.
Commissioner Jordan, Commissioner Key,
I approve.
Commissioner Ricks,
Yes.
Commissioner Teliga,
Yes.
Commissioner Coney,
I approve.
Commissioner Blauer.
Yes.
The motion carries. Congratulations. I wish you luck with planning.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
very much. Appreciate your help.
Well, that concludes all our cases for today. Do we have any old business? Under new business, we have election of officers to a one-year term. Do we have a motion for anybody for chair?
This is Commissioner Key. Do I have the floor?
Yes.
I would like to make a motion or nomination that we keep Commissioner Telliger as our chair for the next term.
And this is Commissioner Stebbins. I'd like to second that.
Do we have any support?
Yeah, Commissioner Stebbins supports.
I'm sorry. All right, any discussions, what I meant to say?
No.
Sorry, Lisa. Any discussion? Okay, I'll ask, John, you have something?
No, oh, no, I'm sorry.
You're disappearing. You're like, I see you and then you're gone. All right, staff, can I have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Stebbins,
I support.
Commissioner Hardy,
I approve.
Commissioner McCaskill,
Approve.
Commissioner Jordan, Commissioner Key,
I approve.
Commissioner Ricks,
Yes.
Commissioner Telga, Commissioner Coney.
Staff, do I need to abstain on this? Can I vote yes?
Yeah.
Attorney, Kelly?
I think it would be advisable to abstain, Mr. Chair.
Okay, I abstain. That's what I thought.
Commissioner Blauer,
Yes, but just for clarification, shouldn't have that been turned over to staff for that vote? Shouldn't the chair have turned it over to staff before that motion was made?
I'm sorry, Commissioner Blauer. This is Kelly Thompson. I'm not sure I understand your question.
Usually for election of officers, the chair would turn the meeting over to staff before the motion is read. The people would accept nomination and then the vote would go forward. I was just looking for clarification on that before we continued with the vote.
Certainly can do that.
Commissioner
I like to be
Blauer.
transparent, especially whenever Zoom calls.
Yeah.
Sure. If the commission's more comfortable with that, then that's fine. I've seen it done both ways.
I'm comfortable moving forward, just for consistency. I just wanted clarification on that.
I guess whatever the city attorney rules is what we'll go with.
So I think given that we're into the voting now, then we can just close out and move forward.
All right. Yes, on my vote.
All right, thank you.
And,
Motion
this is
carries.
Commissioner Cohn, I didn't get to vote.
Oh,
I
I'm so
approve.
sorry, Lauren.
It's okay. It's all right. You started talking. I didn't want to interrupt you, so I just want to make sure I got my vote in.
Well, what is it?
I
Laura said
approve.
yes.
Sorry, I was talking. You were talking again. I approve.
My fault.
You're fine.
Apologize. Motion carries. Thank you for the confidence, you guys.
Again, for clarification, for consistency, can we just have the nominees just accept that they accept the nomination going forward? Just for the record.
I accept the nomination.
Right.
Thank you. Appreciate your input. All right. Now we're on vice chair. If I can make a motion, I would support Commissioner Key, but I can't make a motion. Do we have a motion for anyone here to vice chair? Nominate someone?
Are we turning it over to the city or how are we doing?
Sure, we'll turn it over to the city on this one.
Okay. For continuity's sake.
And Bill, I can handle if you can do roll call, then I can handle the motions and designations.
Be glad to help with.
Okay, so the question is on the nomination of vice chair. Do we have a motion?
I move that we nominate Commissioner Key as Commissioner Ricks.
Okay, Commissioner Ricks has made the motion. Do we have support?
Support, or Commissioner McCaskill.
Okay. And Bill, I think we're ready for a roll call.
Well, I accept the nomination.
Thank you for that.
Commissioner Stebbins,
Oh, I was gonna call, sorry. I approve.
Commissioner Hardy,
I approve.
Commissioner McCaskill,
I approve.
Commissioner Jordan, Commissioner Key,
I have to abstain.
Commissioner Ricks,
Yes.
Commissioner Telga,
Yes.
Commissioner Coney,
I approve.
Commissioner Blauer.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
You turning it back over to me, Kelly?
Mr. Chair, yes, I return the chair to you.
We have anything else to add before we go to adjournment?
Just a thought. And I don't know if this is outside of our scope, but it's this trend happening in the city where downsizing, the Walgreens was a concern to me because it leaves these communities at a deficit. And I think we need to be cautious. And that's outside of our sphere, but we need to really pay attention to what's going on, because as drugs become more profitable, dry goods and toiletries are less profitable. So it's a shift. And they're not interested in selling things that people need, just pharmaceuticals that they want to push. So I'm concerned about that, because I know that community doesn't have a lot of resources to begin with. And it's already kind of has a deficit of transportation, and it's immensely impoverished, and we are kind of setting them up for disaster. So that's all. I mean, and when this happens again, we need to be kind of on the defense and not the offense. That's my shtick. So.
And I appreciate what you're saying. When an applicant comes in, I have to consider they're making a business decision.
Yeah.
And also candidly, it impacted my decision that, I think it was, we asked if it was going to stay open or not.
It's going to close.
Right. And I think it's what we see, but I hear what you're saying, and I'm certainly sensitive to it.
I mean, we couldn't vote no, because the variance is legitimate, but I'm just saying that on a broader, as citizens and not, commissioners, we should be kind of protectionists. That's all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you. Anybody else?
Commissioner Hardy, kind of directed to the chair and to Commissioner Blower also. It bothers me, should I be in concern of what the Planning Commission's decisions were or parameters of their decisions? Sometimes it bothers me, and I'm wondering why it's coming before us of the Planning Commission. I know what our line and what we're supposed to do and how we're lined up to do, as an appeal board. But I would just wonder, do we often need a report from the Planning Commission as to why they made their choices?
This is Kelly Thompson. Is that are we talking about for the Walgreens application item, or
No,
just any application in general?
In general.
Okay.
Just
go ahead, Commissioner Blauer.
Commissioner Blauer, this was not normally when the Planning Commission, there's something that has kind of bounced back from Planning Commission. It's usually an appeal of a decision. In this case, we have not made a decision. We are midway through. We had heard the applicant at a previous meeting, and we had multiple concerns: the vacation of the alleyway on property that had neighbors or other owners, as well as some other concerns. So it was a postponement by us. So in this case, there was no decision made to bounce back. They also needed a variance for the property. So they went to both parties, the ZBA and the Planning Commission, kind of in dual at the same time, which is not normally the case. Normally you would hear something and they were appealing a decision made by us. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So
Thank you.
in this case, it's very different than most of the cases that are Planning Commission based. This was a variance that they needed before we could make a decision at Planning Commission. So when they come back, the applicant, we will have discussions about this variance, about the alleyway, as well as the case as a whole.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I have a question to staff. How can it be, should it be standard that we get the minutes from the Planning Commission? I asked for them for this one. And I would also like clarification on how to request such things. Because I often get replies that don't answer the question, or
That's a good
I don't
question.
know, answer half the question, or I don't get a reply at all. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, and just so you know, I forwarded that to staff, your request yesterday.
So this is KZ. So our last planning commission meeting was supposed to be last week, but that didn't happen because of the Meetings Act that was supposed to be signed by Gretchen Whitmer. So the meetings from the last, which would have been what contained the Rollinger case, was supposed to be approved, and then we can post the minutes. But because that meeting didn't happen, we have to wait. Approved. Commissioner Blauer, if you want to, if you need to correct me or not on that.
That is correct, Casey. And also just kind of piggybacking that, I am your resource. Feel free to reach out to me. The reason why I sit on this board as a liaison between the two bodies. So if you have questions throughout the meeting on a planning commission take, I would be happy to share that, as well as, before or after a meeting. I'm your resource.
Okay, thank you.
But also, I don't think it's a bad idea, as a general, as a general practice, to provide the zoning board of appeals with copies of the planning commission minutes. I think that's fine. They are available on the city's website. Just like the ZBA minutes are, but just as, a standard course, I don't have a problem, and I don't think staff has a problem with providing you with planning commission minutes.
Yeah, but you have to kind of dig for them. I mean, I don't, unless I'm missing something, it's not on the ZBA application, like exactly what date the case was heard by the planning commission. Again, I might be missing something, but I don't want to dig. I don't have time to dig through the website.
I feel the same way.
If you're looking for specific information on a specific case, and we actually have talked about that a little bit, how to make it a little bit more obvious. So it is difficult to find things according to the number and the case number. So I hear you there. The minutes themselves are fairly easy to find, but you're right. To find specific information on a case is not that easy. So so I think as a general course, we could provide you with the minutes on a regular basis as soon as they're approved by Planning Commission. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I've asked a couple times if I could have the minutes and the agendas of planning sent to me, just kind of fills me in what's going on and what might be coming to us in the pipeline. But I haven't been sent it in the past.
I haven't heard that request, but we will make sure that that you get those in the future, just as a matter of course.
That would be great.
Yeah. Mr. Chair, this is Commissioner Key, and all the discussion we're having is great. But personally, I think that as long as we have a planning commission member rep on the team, which Commissioner Blauer is, she always makes us aware of issues that we have in front of us that's also still in front of the planning commission. I think we can still do our work and pin our decision conditional on what decisions are made at the planning commission, just like we did for the ZBA today. So personally, I don't want to read through a lot of minutes from the planning commission, but I would like Commissioner Blauer to always make us aware if we have an issue in front of us that's still pending at the planning commission, so we can have that knowledge when we make a approval or a recommendation or whatever.
I think it sounds like it's personal preference, and I think both can happen. Some commissioners are interested in reviewing the planning commission minutes, and we can do that. And then certainly Commissioner Blauer is there for exactly the purposes Commissioner Key stated. So we can do both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes.
I have a question too when you're done. I'll go ahead and let you go, Commissioner Hardy.
Okay, Commissioner Hardy here. I just wanted the staff to know that we need to update our zoning board of membership roster. I don't think we have an updated one since 18. I don't have one anyway.
We actually have been in communication with the clerk's office for a few months now, trying to get updated rosters for both the Planning Commission and the Zoning Board of Appeals. That is something that the Planning Commission has requested as well. And we are working with the clerk's office to get that for you.
Very good. Thank you.
There's something I'd like to add. You guys aren't probably aware of the anxiety we had in leading up to this meeting on Thursday and Friday, because as of Thursday, and Friday, we did not have the governor's order had been struck down by the Supreme Court. We could not have this via Zoom. I wasn't comfortable having it in person. Neither was Commissioner Key, but by law and Open Meetings Act, I couldn't have this via Zoom as of Thursday and Friday morning. I contacted Michigan Municipal League. I'm fortunate their communications director is a neighbor. He shared with me on Thursday the legislature's bill that was going to go in front of them and that it passed, and then shared with me when he thought the governor was going to sign it, and then contacted me and told me Friday night when the governor signed it. We wouldn't be having this meeting if it wasn't for the dedication of Bill and Casey, who volunteered, knowing we weren't going to know till sometime late Friday night if we could have a Zoom or not, to come in on Saturday and put the packets together and then deliver them. They came in on a Saturday, they volunteered, and I just want them to know how much I appreciate that. They went way above and beyond, and I commend them. Anybody else got anything?
I have a question, and as you know, I post a lot on Facebook, and I have the group, and there was an article about the mayor's meeting tomorrow online about the proposal for I-75 turning it into a surface boulevard.
475.
475, correct. I was wondering if we should tune into that tomorrow to kind of listen in and see what's going on, or if we are going to have anything to do with that if it goes through.
A lot of variances if it goes through.
So in other words, we probably should be paying attention to that, correct?
We should.
Okay.
This is my personal feeling. I'd be surprised if that ever happens.
Exactly.
The state's gonna have to vacate a highway that they just repaved.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of interesting. And that online is going to be streamed live, I guess, on the city's Flint Facebook page tomorrow and YouTube, probably by Paul. So I'll probably tune in. I don't know if you guys want to, but apparently it's going to be tomorrow.
Maybe you can share that in the next meeting for whoever doesn't catch it.
Okay. All right.
Basically trying to undo what happened in the 1960s and into 1970s when 475 took out neighborhoods and divided neighborhoods and divided downtown from the other side. So
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what goes and happens.
I'm old enough. I remember as a child when they're building 475, it took off the end of my street.
Oh,
don't say anything, Lisa.
All right.
I'm old enough too, and I also lived on the other side of 475, right through the middle of our neighborhood. I went to Walker Elementary School.
Oh, you went to Walker?
You're right there. Yeah, I went to Lincoln, which is now International Academy, and it went through my entire neighborhood. It was kind of the beginning of the downhill of the neighborhood, and it cut us off. We could no longer walk over to Thread Lake or the park. We had to go down and go through an overpass.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I went to Walker in the 80s too.
Oh, okay. Well,
you were the smart kids were going there though, right? That's
yeah,
a gifted
right.
program.
We were regular. We were regular kids when I went.
We were the gifted program. Us and Doyle Ryder were the gifted program when I went there.
Wow.
Good for you. Good for you.
Well, thank you.
Now you guys need to stop complaining. If you remember from your government class That's the law of eminent domain, okay?
Right.
So go beat your lawmakers up.
All right, anybody else gonna have the discussion? Hearing none, I'm gonna look for a motion to adjourn.
Commissioner Blauer,
Okay, go ahead.
Commissioner Blauer, so moved.
Support?
Support.
That was Commissioner Stebbins for the record. All right, all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. None, hearing none, we're adjourned. Thanks, everybody. We're
Yeah,
doing pretty
yeah,
well here.
yes,
We've got this
thank you.
streamlined. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you.
Good night. Good night.
And we do have cases for next month.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
Hold the date.
Commissioner Talga.
Yes,
thank you
sir.
Very much. Appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate everyone.
I
just want to tell you thank
appreciate you guys. That was you went above and beyond, and it was a great solution, and I wouldn't have asked it, and I can't tell you, I almost get choked up thinking about it. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. KZ come up with the idea. I just joined forces. So thank you.
Yeah, go ahead and ask Suzanne for a raise.
She's off the line. So
of course she is.
All right. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Okay,
Thank you.
goodbye,
Have a
everybody.
good night, everybody. See